There we go. Well, hang on.
You should be able to.
Okay, let me. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so welcome, guys. Thanks for popping on. I just feel like creating a space to be able to chat and talk about convention and also plan through July will just be helpful. Can you guys hear me okay? Good? Okay. It's already recorded on this computer, so we'll just keep rolling. All right, so a couple of things. I just wanted to thank everyone for being leaders on this team. I mean, I feel like what we gleaned from convention, I mean, what I'm hearing people, it's just game changer, life changing stuff. And just to remind you guys, like, you're at where people want to be. And you guys just, I mean, you may not think of yourself as this way, as like influencing a ton of people on the big one team, but you do. And I don't know how many of you had people come up to you and be like, oh my word, you know, I just want to meet you and say hi, because they've seen your name, they saw your rank up, they saw, you know, you've added value in multiple ways on team calls, on the team page, different things. So you guys are showing that it's possible, and you're showing people that your dream can become their dream and that you're making it happen. So thank you guys for having impact. Thank you for adding value. Thank you for just inspiring people. Thank you for inspiring me. I'm wearing my Inspire shirt, but you guys inspire me every day. So I thought I would just say a couple things real quick, and then yeah, I figured we'd talk about July too on this call, just to kind of map that out. Also, I was at the Diamond meeting on Friday, and I thought it was interesting. Genevieve, which love her, she was just reminding everyone, like, so many people, I feel like in the Diamond group, they're at where they want to be. But she just challenged everyone's thinking. She's like, are you guys thinking bigger? Because she said in the next few years, even the next 5 to 10 years, like as we expand into more global markets and stuff, she's like, prepare for impact. Like this is going to grow bigger. And so she's like, yeah, we have to think bigger. And so I'll pass the same things along to you guys, because I feel like in order to grow bigger, we have to think bigger. And she's like, there's more room at the table, isn't there? She was so cute how she worded it. But anyways, a couple FYIs. They're going to release, I mean, don't spread this around to your teams, but they're going to release active in single packs after all subs have run. So I think it was smart of them to put those in combinations. So our people wouldn't just go in and order 30 PV worth, and then we're like, you know. So it combos until after the subs process for the month. Mark on your calendars July 13th. That is the Super Saturday Express. I know they did that a couple months ago, and that was good. So also, I think the 199 packs came today in those combinations with active. So I posted the graphic that I saw floating around. I still need to get it on the team page, but might remind your people about that. The July incentive is really good. So just keep that on the radar. Be prepping your teams. I don't want to say what it is yet, because, well, it's not released yet, for one. And for two, I don't ever want people not to work in the current month because they almost have this scarcity mindset. Well, I don't want to sign up people this month. I want to wait till July to get my people so I can get that incentive. So anyways, that's going to be good. We will all want the thing that's going to come out. The corporate calls this week, I was just encourage people to pop on those. It's basically showing, I mean, they're doing, I don't think I wrote the schedule down, but I put it in the threads last night, but it's basically like Monday is training on how to utilize samples. Tuesday is products. So they have that already where people can register for that. So I'm going to encourage the team to utilize those. I was hearing some chatter that even if you register, that there was still a limit to 500 people on the call. So that's a bummer. I don't know if they'll be recorded. Surely they are. But I know there's 2 different times each day. So hopefully people can pop on. And also it's a win that these new sample peeps that we get do not count as new customers. So still benefiting the Emerald Extravaganza contest and the Leaders Retreat contest. So fun stuff. I will say something so Victor came and talked at the Diamond Call right before he hopped on his plane. And he shared this at one of the Super Saturdays a while back, a couple of years ago. But he was basically saying, so when we come away from an event like this, a convention where you basically are drinking out of a water fountain or a fire hydrant for so long, he's like, we have to kind of synthesize like what we're going to do more of and what we're going to do less of, and kind of write those things down. So that's one thing that I've been doing, is going through my notes and kind of getting my top takeaways of what I learned from convention and the things that I want to do more of and do less of, and being specific. He said, so you say you want to work Instagram more. Like, he had some people pipe up and they're like, I got to work Instagram more. He's like, well, what does that mean specifically? Well, I need to post on there. I need to make more stories. He's like, no, you have to be specific. 1 post on Instagram every day, 3 stories every day, specific, write down goals. So I thought that was helpful. Same with live videos. He's like, if you're going to listen to a podcast, well, write down, you're going to listen to 1 podcast a week. I'm going to make 1 live video every week, just like talking in specifics. So anyways, my encouragement there is, if you haven't started to go through your notes and kind of write down your takeaways plus what you're going to do more of, less of, and help your teams do the same.
Can I say one quick thing about IG?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't even, of course, I'm not a diamond. Like, in my mind, I'm a diamond, but I wasn't at the meeting. I was already thinking, I have not cared for Instagram because, like, I'm old and I just want to stay with what's easy and what's normal. But after you and I talked the other day, Megan, about Instagram, and I was looking at people that I think are, they do all the Instagram stuff. Their stories. Oh my word. If I'm like, I'm just going to do 5 stories a day because it's super fast and easy. I'm not even really posting on Instagram other than my stories, but some of them I was noticing 10, 15, 20 a day. I was like, if I could just do 5. So I didn't hear what he said, but apparently my mind was thinking about what Victor said. So my goal is 5. I've done 3 so far, so I've got 2 more to go today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so I was following a girl, Farmhouse stuff has like connected me with other people, and this girl, so she so from those stories you can create highlights. So there's those little circles, so it's like you can put those stories into little files. And so like if you go to my Instagram, I have just basically what my life is about: music, gardening, building a farmhouse, Plexus, convention, homes. So I'm funneling those stories into specific categories. I have not done a whole lot of Instagram training, but just from what I'm observing, I'm trying to do more of those things. But people watch more stories than read big long posts. And on a story, you can also put a poll and like getting people to like interact with you on those things. So anyways, go follow Bridget Ryan or Abby Kappa and look what they do. And like Jessica was teaching us in the accountability stuff, she's like, just start doing things instead of just avoiding it because we don't know how to do it. So yes. All right. So let's get some chitter chatter going, guys, of what your takeaways, epiphanies, aha moments, things from convention that you gleaned. I'd love to hear. I feel like that's where a lot of value can be shared. I'll let you guys share before I share mine. I have a confession to make. You want to take the share first?
No. Am I supposed to?
You can, whoever.
I'm waiting. I'll make him nervous. Sit in awkward silence for a minute.
One of the questions I'm going to ask my peeps that I'm just in, one-on-one coachings with is, what habits are holding you back? What habits are holding you back? Or what habits are not serving you? That's like a curious question. I seriously want to know from people that I coach on a consistent basis, is just like, what are those things? Because I think when Bob said that, I think he said that in the Jewel training, there were things in my brain for myself. It wasn't even plexus related that popped up.
Megan, have you ever asked that, like, of your leader about you? Or Carrie or Jessica? Like, have you ever asked them what they think is holding you back? Because I've been thinking about asking, but I'm not going to ask yet. So just, you don't have to answer for me.
I don't remember if I've ever asked that. Carrie, I feel like she always is quick to, oh, there she is. Like, especially early on, if she noticed I was doing something wrong, she would tell me. Like, I appreciated that. Like, it was mainly with posting stuff. So, but I think it's a valid question. I think it's a good thing to ask and be open to. So how would you frame that? Do you see anything in me that's holding me back? I think you kind of said something like that at the retreat. Because you said, I feel like you said something like, do you see things in us that are holding us back, or something like that?
I have asked Megan that in the past too, like, what are my blind spots that I'm missing? Also, Tammy's on my phone here watching, so she has something to say too. Are you there? You can talk now.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, okay. It's connecting. Hey, so yeah, like Jessica and I are really red personalities. So like Jessica, as soon as we started our group thing, Jessica, I said, I give you full authority, full permission to call me out. Like, if there's something that you see with me, I want you to call that out, because we don't recognize that in ourselves. So I think giving permission for people to call us out on something, especially with us, for a tight group, we're not going to take offense to somebody saying, hey, you need to do this different. Like, I had sent out for somebody, like when I did that mail post, I sent out something for the guys. Hey guys, post on this. Like, guy friends, help Bill out. Post on this. And Jess called me out on that. She's like, from you and I, we don't think that's classy, but other people that aren't red personalities will think that is classy. And I was like, wow, like I totally didn't recognize that, but she was so right. So giving permission, I think, was huge.
Yeah, love that. Thank you for sharing that, Tammy.
Did she say bossy? I couldn't understand her.
Yeah, bossy.
Okay.
She said as a red, basically we can come off as really bossy and like, do this, do that, go post this.
I don't get told that every day of the week. No, I don't.
I feel like a lot of what I heard from Bob Heilig and Mel and Jessica and Jen Leith, a lot about like imposter syndrome, feeling like we're not worthy, that we're not qualified. Jessica talked a lot of what she's been teaching us already in her accountability calls about, wrong mindsets about money, because she didn't come from money. So then when she had a lot of money, then it was like this icky, shameful, guilty feeling in regards to the income she was making. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of what I heard was kind of went back to identity and thinking bigger, expanding mindset, knowing that we're called here for a purpose. What did you guys all hear?
I think I'm having a hard time answering your question because there's like 20 pages of notes in my hand. But one thing I starred really big, which kind of goes along with what we're already talking about, is I think it was oh, I don't even know who said it. Somebody said something about a ball and chain keeping them from like working their plexus business. I don't even know what day that was. But it was like, I've been struggling with my team and trying to figure out like what is, I don't know, like what's holding them back. But not only that, but how do I communicate with them to help them figure out what's holding them back? And whoever said that, I wrote down like, what is your ball and chain keeping you from the opportunity of plexus? And I think that's definitely a question I need to ask my whole team, probably individually, just getting them thinking about that, because I don't know that people realize it. Because one time, Megan, I don't know if you remember, but I took on like a few more hours with the farmers market, and you were like, you know, if you worked less at the farmers market, you would be able to do more with plexus and you would get paid more for that. And I was like, probably. And so I did, like, I quit, or I don't know what I did. It doesn't matter, but I cut my hours back to where I just helped at the actual farmers market like twice a month, which is what I still do because it's more for networking than it is for the farmers market. And the difference was made up like the very next month. I made what I lost by quitting that job. And so many of the people on my team have full-time jobs or a bunch of little side things that they do, and they're just so distracted that I can't get any of them to focus and be committed. So even the ones that have literally everything it takes, even ones that don't have full-time jobs but have everything it takes, get distracted by a ton of everything, other things, and don't look at it as like a ball and chain, kind of like pulling them back, rather than like being able to go full speed ahead. And so I appreciated that, because I think it helped me articulate what I need to work through with my team for sure.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Can you also hear the grinding in the background? Is it terrible? Okay. Okay, there's like crazy music and there's grinding, so I didn't want it to be, yeah. I tried to make a list. There's so many things going on. I'm sorry, it's so loud. I tried to make a list earlier and kind of condense down my notes, and the biggest thing that I had at the top of my list was that personal development is everything. So I feel like I've been trying to push my team to do things that they're really not actually capable of doing yet, because they haven't taken a look at themselves. And I had to take a look at myself. And convention really just kind of threw in my face that like my biggest obstacle is my own thoughts and words in my head, and telling me like I don't care what other people think of me, but I do care what I think of me, and my thoughts of myself are not where they need to be for me to be able to be successful in this business. And which is very overwhelming, by the way. I'm not going to cry because I cried like 14,000 times at convention, but when you look at yourself and you see that like you have so much that you need to work on, and also it's almost like a grieving, because I felt guilty for not like addressing it sooner, because I could have been better for my family. And so I could have been a better wife, I could have been a better teacher, I could have been a better mom. And so the Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I realize that it's Monday, but guys, that thing has like changed my life in the past weekend and today. And I have I guess with that, like she just showed me that, like literally showed me scientifically, which is what I need, that I can change my thought processes, because I was having a conversation with Stephanie Watt at supper at the Mexican place that night, and I think it was Wednesday night, and I told her, like, or maybe Tuesday, I said, I am just my own worst enemy. Like, I am sabotaging myself, because every day I wake up and I'm like dreading this opportunity, because I can't get out of my own head, and I can't, like, I'm constantly telling myself, you can't get it all done. You're failing your people. You're getting them started and not taking care of them. You're not taking care of your team. You're not taking care of your kids. You're not taking care of your husband. You're not taking care of your cows. And so for her to show me that like I can change that thought process and create new habits in my own head was a completely life-changing moment for me. And it has given me such hope because I have a great relationship with God, and I talk to Jesus every day, but I could not get out of my own head. And so I have been doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and refocusing myself, and it's amazing. So I just wanted to share that. And that PD is everything. Like if our team members aren't working on themselves, they will forever be stuck. And so I am focusing on that, and it's probably going to take a while. And that might mean that we don't grow. I mean, that's not my plan. I plan to still grow, be Emerald by the end of July, but it might mean that it's going to take some time to get those people where they need to be on the inside so that they can be successful and impact others on the outside. And so I'm really going to lean into that. Another thing that I wrote down is that like we attract business builders every day. And so I used to really like what I said, I don't care what book they could be. Well, I need to care about what I look like. And I need to be attracting people both on social media and just in the community. And I love just the idea of like, no, you need to go have conversations with people, and it's about the relationship. Rita said something about like social media is great and all, but if you're not talking to people, then we're not doing what we need to be doing. And so that's just been on my heart too. And just, you know, being the best version of myself when I go out into public and at home, obviously. And then another thing that really stuck out to me from Mel Robbins, I was listening to her yesterday, is to do what energizes you. I've been looking forward to coming to be able to have uninterrupted work time today, like all weekend, because I'm just so stinking excited and it energizes me. Teaching doesn't energize me. And so I'm really kind of working through that. But I think that's going on my board. Like these things are going on my board. Do what energizes you. Being bold. I think just telling ourselves and positive affirmations. Like I'm such a visual person, but I have written down like in my notebook, and I've been reading it since we left Vegas. Just a few of the things are: you are enough. You are inspiring and impacting thousands. You are doing God's work. You are a positive, beautiful person. You are a great mom. You are a great leader. You are a great friend. You are a great wife. And you do get up early and get things done and connect with God, because sometimes I don't want to get up. And I know that our most productive hours of the day are from when we wake up, and like 3 hours after that. So I'm just writing those things down and looking at them every day, because I have to have that for myself, to be reminded of that. And then I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are enough. You are a fearless person. You are a great leader. And it really does make a difference to keep telling yourself those things, because I was telling myself not those things. And then I guess one last thing that I'll share is about changing habits. And that I think Bob Piley was talking about not looking at the whole journey, because I'm such a big picture person that I like look at it and this as a whole journey of, yeah, I'm going to be diamond. But then it's overwhelming. And then I start overthinking it. And then I don't have any action because I'm overthinking it. And then I just shut down. And so I think the part about like creating new habits every day and just sticking with that. And it's not that we can't look at the big picture, but I think in order to get to the big picture, to get to that, you know, the big thing, the big goal, it's about creating those new habits every day and losing your old life so that you can gain a new life, which is really a big deal. So on a whole lots of levels, losing your old life so that you can gain a new life, but creating those habits every day that are new so that you can reach the big goal. But I have to make myself not think about the crazy bigness of it and just focus on the everyday. So, okay, I think that's it.
Really fast, I want to tell you guys about this book. Have any of you read it? It's Emotional Intelligence 2.0. I'm reading it for work, and it literally goes right along with everything that Mel Robbins was saying. And in here, it says, it's a proven statistic, proven fact, that people who are successful in their so people who are more emotionally intelligent are more successful. Across the board, people who are high in emotional intelligence have a higher salary, are just more successful in all areas of life. It's so, so good. And it talks about the, well, whatever, I don't want to talk anymore, but I want to hear from other people. But I just highly recommend that book because it went right along with the science behind everything Mel was saying. And that when you buy the book, you get access to their test. So you take the test, you read the book, you implement it, and then you take it 6 months later to see how you've grown in your EQ. And it's just really, really good. It can help you really focus in on the specific things that you need to work on.
Should we just go in order? Like everyone take a turn? I can just pick people.
Something that stuck out to me that really opened my eyes is when that lady talked. She was a gold ambassador, I think, and she was like, I could see myself as diamond, but I couldn't. Just a minute. I couldn't see myself as senior gold, and I think that's where I've been too. Like I have the big vision, but implementing the next doable step, that's what's scary for me. So that was huge. And of course, I love when Bob Heilig says habits are what's going to change your life. You know, those small daily disciplines, because The Slight Edge is like my favorite book ever. Just knowing that those small daily consistencies are going to add up to something huge.
I'll share really quick. I love Bob Heilig. That was so amazing. And I really was struck by, I don't remember her name, but the senior or the new Emerald that said she had come back as a senior Ruby like 3 times or something. That struck me. And then another lady said she had been a rank for a couple years in a row. I don't remember her name either. I think it was a senior gold lady. Anyway, I felt like just so impacted by that. Like, obviously we pray that the Lord would move things forward, and that's what we're all working towards, but just the realness of sometimes our stories are not going to be perhaps what we would have wanted or as fast as we would have wanted, and yet how God does bless it, and it does come. And sometimes there's some pieces missing. I don't know for them, but you know, maybe some personal growth or whatever, like, yeah. But anyway, I loved the realness of that. I guess I could really relate since my startup was so slow, and a lot of my people have been slow to start, but then once they get moving, they get moving. So I don't know. I loved that. I loved the honesty there. Just not all of our stories are going to be diamond in a year, or, you know, and that's okay. Like, it's just as beautiful, the story. They're all going to be so unique. So yeah, love that.
Hey, this is Lynn. Sorry, I don't have my video, but going along with what Melody just said, if I had to say one overarching takeaway for myself, it would be exactly what Melody said. And then with that, what Melinda said about what we're telling ourselves. So I had fallen into the really sad trap of, you know, self-blame, like being very negative on myself as far as what's happening with my team. And I came away and on the airplane home and yesterday in church, just really praising God that I am enough and I am right where I'm supposed to be. even though I'm in a new town, a new city, new people, it's right where God wants us to be. And the people that are on my team are exactly who are supposed to be on my team, because I'm supposed to help lead them. So that was just really inspiring and encouraging to me.
Stephanie, Angie, who else hasn't shared? You girls want to pipe up something? Our overarching theme. This is also good. Thank you guys for sharing your hearts and your thoughts.
Tammy's got something here. She's on the phone. Go ahead, Tammy.
Hey, I think that too, Megan, when you guys really push for people to bring people to convention, that was so belief building. Jim and Debbie Proctor walked away just overwhelmed. Jim was selling the couple next to him on the plane. Jim doesn't work the business. Jim was selling somebody on the plane next to him, and she's a CPA, and they want the business. So don't underestimate this leaders retreat. We got to get our people to leaders retreat, because it's huge. It was huge belief building for them. It was huge belief building for me. It was huge belief building for all of us when we first started. So I think that we really have to push our people now and focus on helping our people to get their reward in leaders retreat, and that will actually grow us as well.
So agree with that, Tammy. Carrie, Angie, Stephanie, what do y'all have?
I popped on late, sorry, so I don't know if somebody's already talked about some of these things, but the couple things that I really wrestled through were a new life is going to cost you your old one. And then I messaged Melinda earlier because we had been talking about that, but I'm reading the Secrets of Six-Figure Women book right now. And the chapter I'm in is exactly that, breaking down. You have to let go in order to embrace the new. So that was huge. I'm enough and God doesn't make junk. So I'm enough because God says so, not because of what my points end up being or anything like that. That was huge. And then another huge mindset shift for me was the simple fact, telling myself that I have everything I need to be successful. I did not believe I did. I thought I still lacked a system. I lacked there was some piece missing that wasn't allowing me to move forward. And I now think it's not that it's missing, it's that I don't necessarily faithfully implement it all the time. And so really I'm excited about the new sampling system, and just I'm in the process of writing everything down, all of the steps I already know to do, and then just making sure I faithfully do them every time. Because apparently I can recruit. That's not the problem. It's duplicating. That does not happen for me. So, and that I think comes down to, they say the first time you open your mouth, you're presenting the business to people. So it's all things I've heard. It's just a new level of owning, I think. Oh, and I also realized that I imagined for me to go any further in this business, I was going to sacrifice something I wasn't willing to sacrifice, as in my marriage, my child, my church. Something was going to have to give because I didn't have anything else to give. I was tapped out. And so understanding, so that was huge. And I have a mother's helper coming this week to start allowing me to spend focus time, so I'm not trying to multitask all day long. So.
Okay, so can I just say ditto? Does that work? So I don't know, some of you might know this, some of you might not, but we had a little bug incident in our room. So I had to miss the Jewel training. And I was really bummed out, but I knew that the Lord had a plan. Apparently there was a reason for me not to be there. They did say that it came back negative, but I'm not buying it. Anyway, so I heard some chitter chatter about Jessica's talk that she did. So of course I couldn't wait to listen. And so I was able to listen to it yesterday with my husband. And like, besides the fact that she left her husband, I mean, that situation was not, but I mean, a temporary little separation. I shouldn't even said that. But like the way that she talked about how, like the financial aspect, I'm trying to hold the tears back, but they're coming. Like my husband can make all the money that he makes and it's totally fine. But for me to make it, it seems wrong for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I so connected with what she said. Like I keep thinking, like, who am I to like be a stay-at-home mom without a college degree and like make 6 figures? It's like insane. And I feel guilty about it. So I don't know. I'm trying to overcome that and like be really strong and be really amazing for my team and stuff, you know, but it's hard to overcome those things. But I'm working on it, and like I'm going to be pushing for Sapphire, and I am going to be a diamond. And so God has like that work to do in me to help me like figure that out. And I'm not sure why I even said this, because when Stephanie was talking, I was sitting there going, so many things I don't even know what to say. And this wasn't even what I was going to say. It just like started coming out. But I know that I wasn't looking for this business at all. I wasn't looking for the financial aspect. I wasn't looking for friends. My life was full. I didn't need anything else. But God had a different plan. So here we are, right? So like I have to learn to overcome these things. And the one thing I was thinking about is that when we were at convention, so many people came up and called me by name that I had no idea who they were. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, I'm no one. Like, why, how do these people know who I am or whatever? So I want to be prepared, and I want to do what the Lord has for me to do through this, because He has a plan for it, right? So I guess that's it. I'm usually not one to not have words to say, but I have a meeting at 6 and I don't want to go a blubbering mess. So I'll just stop talking and listen to you guys now.
Angie, I was just talking to Amy on Marco Polo. They're off grid or something, having to pick up their kids. But she said that the size of the check is really a reflection of the size of our impact. And so I feel like us being able to frame the amount of income, that potential, or even just income currently that we're all making, is to view that as a reflection of the impact we're having on people. And that because of that, it gives us a platform. And so Amy was just saying, like, it really resonates with her. She's not motivated necessarily by money, but she is motivated by having impact on people's lives. And she also said that she really appreciated like the jewels and the diamonds that she heard. She said, I really felt like they were coming from a place of walking in refinement, and like God bringing them through refining seasons and then them sharing. So I feel like most people have that feeling of like, who am I? But I was thinking of Queen Esther today, for such a time as this, you know. And Bob Heilig said there are more people hurting than helping in our world. And how cool that we get to be the helpers, and that we get to be in a place of actually learning things so that and experiencing things so that we can be physically healthy, mentally, emotionally, financially, like in all the areas, being healthy so that we can have impact on a lot of people, a lot more people than we've probably expected in our lifetime to have impact on.
Okay.
you guys have all said such wonderful things. I don't really know if I have much like better things to add. One thing I do, well, I was just like flipping through and I feel like I have like you said, 20 pages of notes and there's stars by all sorts of things. But one of them I just saw from the Jewel training that I love so much was the story of the twins that had I don't remember if it was like alcoholic parents or something, where they said, they followed some twins and, the dad ends up in prison and and anyway, one of the twins like follows in the dad's footsteps and ends up in prison. And they're like, well, what happened? And he's like, well, how could I not? Like, look at my past. Like, that's just what I was destined to do, was that. And then the other twin came out to be the super successful person, very impactful in many people's lives. And they're like, well, they went and asked him the same thing. And he's like, well, how could I not? I needed to overcome that. And I just love that story because it's like, just because our past or just because, we've been given these cards or, this or that. I just love like, it doesn't matter what you've been given, like you can overcome it or you can, do better than that or whatever. But I still don't have a voice, guys. I'm sorry. It's awful. I don't know. There were just so many good things. I loved, Stephanie, what you said. One of them that has stuck out the entire time is God doesn't make junk. And I think, was it Bob that said that? And he said it like maybe in both of his sessions, maybe. But yeah, there were just so many good things. Hang on a second.
Right.
Okay. Well, I appreciate each one of you. And I know going is hard because there's so many things left at home and it's just hard to leave all those things. I know that it's just difficult, but I appreciate each one of you and what you've shared so far. I thought this convention was the best one that we've been to. This is our 4th convention and it was hands down the best one that we've attended. I thought that the messages and the timing of those messages were absolutely perfect for me. And I thought they were absolutely perfect and the timing was perfect for all of Plexus. I feel like that kind of the company is just in a certain season right now. So I thought the messages, I don't know. I just don't think you can plan for all those messages to be so consistent like they were. And just to have the speakers, I think every speaker that was up gave glory to God or Jesus Christ. Even Bob Heilig did, which answered a question I had if he was a Christian. So he pretty well sealed that for me. I just thought it was an amazing convention. And I walked away, quite honestly, this isn't like a euphoric thing where you just get pumped up and then you go home and then it all fails. But honestly, I feel like I'm a different person for being at that convention. And I have like the possibilities that I see now as a result of being there and hearing what I heard. I see possibilities that I never even thought about before in my own life, with the team, with my family, with so many just different things. It was absolutely incredible. One of the things I took away, I just have a couple notes to share here. But the first thing is that my biggest roadblock is me. It's not my time. It's not a system. It's not, it's really nothing else. It's kind of like Jim Rohn said in one of my favorite personal growth videos of all time. He took his list of reasons why he wasn't where he was in life to his mentor, and his mentor said, it's a really nice list. There's just one problem. You aren't on it. And so for me, one thing I took away with is I'm my biggest roadblock. I'm the one that holds myself back. No one else does. And after I went Sapphire in March, I have a tendency after I hit a goal to just stop. And I don't know why I do that, but I do. I'll push, I'll hit a goal, and then it's like I unplug. I just don't know how to reset quickly. It's something I'm working on, and that's where I've been the last couple of months. So the thing is I know what to do. I don't need new revelation on how to do this. We already know the steps to take. It's a matter of taking them, and it's just mainly overcoming myself. But one thing a couple things stood out to me. One is I'm made for more. I think it's easy for me sometimes to settle for just getting a little bit better each month, maybe, instead of pushing towards my full potential. And that's something that I have to work on. I don't want to settle for just maybe getting a little bit better. Over time, we should get better naturally. Mm-hmm. I don't want to settle for that. I want to push myself harder, farther, and further than I ever thought possible. Another thing, we stayed an extra night, and I was talking to my business coach, who is really hard on me, and that's good because that's what I need. But he was saying, I was telling him what my goals were. He's like, well, what do you think's possible after being there? And I said, you want me to tell you the truth? He said, yeah. I said, because most people will think I'm crazy when I say this. He said, lay it on me. I said, after being at the men's event and the jewel training, I said, I think I have the potential to be the first male double diamond in Plexus history. He said, you think so? I said, for the first time in my life, I see it. I said, I've never saw this. I've never even thought this before. It's never even been a goal of mine. I said, but I see the potential now. And he's like, okay, well, what I want you to do is write down why you're not there yet. And I was like, ooh. I was like, Carl, you're such a jerk, And so I wrote it down. He actually just wanted me to start with why I'm not a diamond ambassador yet. So I'll tell you what I wrote down. So I'll be completely open with you here. And this is what I sent to him. I said, I'm not a diamond ambassador yet because I have not done what it takes to become one. I have not been committed, and I have not been consistent enough. I've expected it to come easy, and my lack of action lately has created fear of not hitting my goals or my potential. And he's like, well, there you go. Like, you just answered your own problem. He said, now what I want you to do is to make a commitment statement of when you're going to go diamond. Give it a date, and you have to commit to it. So this is what else I sent him. I said, I'm committed to becoming a Plexus Worldwide Diamond Ambassador by September 30th, 2019. But I guess the realm of possibility is I've been holding myself back, even in my thoughts, even in my thinking of what's actually possible if we push our full potential. And I think I'm just capable, like, I think it was Mel Robbins is the one at the end said, you are made for more. Mm. You are made for more than this. And that just really stuck out to me. Anyway, that's kind of my thing. That's kind of my takeaways. I just see things completely different now as a result of being there and hearing what they had to say, especially Bob. But my biggest roadblock is my own inconsistency. So that's, Megan's pointing out another note. I'll just read it to you. This is from my coach, and he said, to get to where you have never been, you're going to have to be something you've never been, and you're going to have to do something you've never done. So now he's asking me, what are those things? So he's going to hold me accountable, and he's not going to let me slide. And according to what Bob said in the jewel training, that's what love is. Mm-hmm. Holding people accountable is love. It's not tough love. There's no such thing as tough love. It's just love. And so we're going to make it happen. And I just think the possibilities for all of us are absolutely bigger than we can even imagine if we just give it what we've got and push our full potential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that kind of ties into my big takeaway epiphany that I had when I was listening to Bob Heilig. He was saying that the best leaders have unrelenting toughness and sincere affection for people. And he said top leaders feel lonely and they rarely ask for your time. And he said he said, I have to learn to hold people accountable, and learning to confront people is actually a skill. And then he kind of gave examples of that. Like, and so that's my biggest takeaway is like, I haven't held people accountable. I listen to the reasons, AKA maybe their excuses, and they seem valid to me. And so it just, I tend to be like, okay. And I leave it there because it's really based out of fear because I want to be everyone's friend. I want everyone to like me. I don't want people to be mad at me. And I also realize the fact that maybe some people don't want it as bad as me, or their time frame is different or what. And so I think I tend to that so much. I lean into that so much that I lack even asking people, do you want me to hold you accountable? And so that I don't even ask that question. So that's something I'm going to change. It's like, what are your goals? And do you want me to hold you accountable to those goals?
So get ready.
So that was kind of an epiphany for me. It's like, well, am I not raising up the lid for the people on my team to even just communicate that question? Do you want me to hold you accountable? And then be relentless in that, because that's love. Like what Bob was saying, it's love. That doesn't feel like love to me though, because it makes me uncomfortable. And I think because I had such a hands-off approach in the sense of, I don't know, I feel like I have kind of a hands-off approach. I expect everyone to just go do the things, no drama, go do it, no excuses, just go make it happen. That I feel like I don't always like hop in the trench with someone and be like, okay, let's do it together. Let me hold you accountable. Let me ask you questions. Tell me your thoughts. So it's something that I'm growing in. I don't want you all to feel lonely or feel like you can't ask for time from either one of us.
That was the biggest thing for me. Justin told me, you're puking, go do it anyway. Like he was on my butt the whole time. And then in the moment, it was kind of like, I really hate you, but it's the kick in the butt I needed. I really did. I was like, I cannot believe you said that to me. But yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Well, we all need some motivation sometimes. So another thing I took away, I'm going to learn Spanish. That's personal growth. I am going to learn Spanish. I bought Rosetta Stone. We're going to learn Spanish as a family, and we're going to blow Mexico up, like in a good way. Blow it up, like plexus-wise, business-wise, not, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Not like blow it up, but.
Be careful, because their conversation could be recorded. Wrong person hears that, we're in big trouble.
Right. So there you go.
So a couple things for me is like, I'm going to work on getting samples out for active. I'm going to be hosting events for level ones of mine that are working the business. Like we just haven't done them. I want to do like in-person sip and sees and get those scheduled and do them for them. I'm going to schedule coaching calls with my level one people that want a coaching call. And this is big for me, but I'm going to get a business coach. Justin's been working with someone. Carrie talked about getting some coaching. I think it's time for me to do that. I think it'll lift the lid. It'll help me see, like we all said, we can't see our own blind spots. So I think it'll help lift the lid. So that's one of my things I'm going to do, because I've been avoiding and procrastinating on that. Okay, guys, can you teach us how you do coaching calls, specific questions? Yeah, so if they're brand new, or if they're wherever they're at, like ask them what their goal, like I'll have them look at their previous month's points, how many people they personally recruited, how many people their team recruited, and how many people they got to silver personally and as a team. That gives me a idea of what their recruitment looks like and what their duplication looks like. And then I'll ask them what they're afraid of. What's your top fear? And your fear is not something that you overcome once. There's always new fears, new levels. There's like a little saying, new levels, new demons. It's supposed to rhyme though. So basically, new devils. Okay, whatever. There's just at every stage, at every season, there's like new fears or new insecurities. So asking people what they're avoiding, resisting, procrastinating on. I'm going to ask that habit question. What habits are not serving you? And you're like, oh yeah, the Netflix thing that I do every night for 4 hours, probably not serving me. Or, whatever it is. Those are some of the, and then I'm going to ask people, what are your goals? Like, what's your goal? Where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be at in 90 days? And then I'll ask them if they want me to hold them accountable. I mean, I guess that's what I'll ask them. You have any other things to pipe in?
Yeah. One thing that Bob said in, I don't remember, maybe one of the Thursday morning classes was that he said we need to stop accepting other people's excuses. And I think it's easy to do. But I wrote down, need to stop accepting other people's excuses, and that starts by not accepting your own excuses. So I don't know, for whatever reason that comes to mind with coaching. I think it's easy to accept excuses, especially if we accept our own. But if we don't let ourselves off the hook, it's easier to coach others not to make excuses as well. So I think it all just goes back to, it starts with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just the kind of the principle of leadership, is that it starts with us. So if our team's not doing it, I think one of the things we need to look at is, am I doing it? Or maybe they're just following my lead. I think those are some hard looks that we have to take as leaders. And one thing I take away from a convention, there's a lot more people watching you than you think.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people watching how you speak. There's a lot more people watching what you're doing at night after the training is over. They're watching how you treat people. They're watching how whatever. But there's a lot of people watching, and in leadership, there's always double judgment. So people are always looking, always watching. So I think we need to figure out, if there's a team problem, we should take the hard look. Say, is it a me problem?
Mm-hmm.
As a leader? And that's hard to do, but it's important to do to move forward, I think. So excuses is something we have to get past. I do too. I have to get past it. I have my Plexus No Excuses band on to remind me today that I got at the store, that I can't be allowing myself to make any more excuses. It's time to, what did Chandler say? Rise up. What did he say, Melinda, when he woke up in the morning?
Okay, so the morning of the men's Plexus event, I was like, Chandler, you got to get up so you can go. And he kind of like moved a little bit, and then he's like, rise up. He jumped out of bed. He like sang it at the top of his lungs and got up. But he got up. I think he actually counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then did it. I don't know though. No, he wouldn't have, because we didn't hear that yet. It was just rise up. He just sang it. But he has our entire family singing "Shine Bright Like a Diamond." Doris is even singing it. So it's a really good reminder. So if you need reminders, then you teach your kids songs like "Shine Bright Like a Diamond," and they're going to go around singing it all the time. And then there you go.
And you retrain your brain, and that rewiring your brain. Your kids are singing. Yeah.
Yes.
Really quick, let's look at July. July is a month of significance and some incredible rank ups. I know it's happening. I'm going to speak it out. I'm going to believe with y'all. There's going to be some people not at Leaders Retreat. They're going to be at the Emerald Extravaganza. So, all right, starts now before July even starts, honestly. And I also think the next 90 days is a season of impact. Mm-hmm. So prepare for that, y'all. It's going to be good. The only thing I have on for July is the 18th, doing a happy half hour. And feel free to name drop people. You can just PM me if you have someone or you haven't hosted one. I honestly don't have any rhyme or reason. Kind of just whoever's game for hosting. Stephanie Watt, have you ever hosted one? All right, maybe it's your turn, girl.
Perfect.
So,
thank you for volunteering, Stephanie. That was wonderful.
I just happened to look.
Wonderful
I feel like everyone
skills.
else on here has hosted before. So anyways, okay, we'll figure that out. Also, 21-day challenge. Honestly, I have not popped in since the week that I scheduled posts for that, but I feel like there's still a lot of activity in there. if you have some minutes this week, go and pop in and add some comments of value, tag your people, keep them engaged in that. But I'm considering rerunning that in the month of July. Thoughts, ideas, game, yeah, yay, nay?
I love it. My team did one of those last year for about 4 or 5 months straight, and it keeps people engaged. I mean, not every single day, but there's something there that they can pop on and they can look at. And you're going to find that some really want to run with it, and they need that total accountability. Some don't, but I think it's I think it's well worth it for us to. I mean, it doesn't really take us that much time. You get a few people to schedule those posts, and there's so many of us, we could all hop on a day or two here and there and comment to help keep it going.
Yeah. And I feel maybe we could do some lives as well. Just some people pop in and share live testimony or something. We'd probably start that on the 8th of July. Monday, July 1st is the team call, 7 p.m. Central. I haven't even thought about what that's going to look like yet. We might have some people pipe up and share some stuff. I don't know. Haven't thought through that yet. I'm going to do another new ambassador orientation live on the team page, I believe on Tuesday morning, the 2nd. So I felt like the last one I did was good and effective, so I'm going to do that. I might, something that Victor Antonio mentioned is doing like little short little videos where it's almost like an onboarding system. I might do something like that. I haven't thought through that completely, but I might do something like that at the beginning of July, and just maybe the first week of July, and just for people that want to work the business, like little steps every day. So I'm kind of thinking about that, but in a recorded like Zoom way, so I can open it, or so I can put it onto YouTube and then send people like first 5 videos if they say they want to work the business, almost like a work smarter, not harder video series.
Hey, Megan.
Yeah.
Can Justin maybe start? You know, Jarrett Abart did that men's group.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough men on our team. I think, like Jim Proctor, Bill Chandler, the guys that were there that now have that, oh, wow moment. Now would be a great time for Justin to start maybe a little group of men to start guiding them on how to do it. Because even though Bill does it, he doesn't know how to sign somebody up. He's never signed somebody up himself. But he works the business with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe coming from another man, we have a ton of men on one team.
Truth. Yeah, I like that. Thoughts, Ben?
What's that?
Doing a group or training, because we have a lot of guys that are starting to work flexes. I feel like the main team has a lot of guys too. Kevin and Rick and those guys out there too.
What do you guys think it should look like?
Well, I just think now that the guys all know each other, like Jim Proctor is coming on, and he was selling it on a plane, but he needs direction on, how to do the business. When I first came on, I was just overwhelmed. It was like, I have no clue what the heck I'm doing here. So, but now that these guys have a face and they know, you guys know each other, I think the guys will listen to you in guidance on how to start skyrocketing themselves and being the leaders in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me put some thought to that.
I do kind of like that too. I think that Chandler would really enjoy just to be a part of something. It's not that he doesn't feel a part of it. It's just that, like, he's behind the scenes, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so we had so much fun just being there together and just watching him. He was excited. Like, he cried probably 3 different times during convention. So anyway, I think just for them to be a part of it will get them super excited too, just like us. Like, if we were doing it by ourselves, it's way, way less exciting than if we belong to a family. And that's what I feel like it is. And so, yeah, I don't know what it would look like, even if it was just like a weekly call, just to, I have no idea, but I think he would really enjoy that and give him some responsibility in it too.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Well, any ideas you guys might have on something like this that would be helpful, feel free to send me a message and see if we can start putting some ideas together and make something happen.
I feel like we have so many people we're trying to catch, like the guys, helping them feel like a group, and then we have all these new people that we may funnel into 21-day challenge with getting started on the products. Maybe yeah, something business wise for branding new people that just need like first steps. So yeah, good things. Okay, something else really quick before we pop off. August through October, I'm thinking the first full week of August we'll kick off a book study. I was kind of thinking of some sort of mentorship group. I wasn't sure how that would look like after the main mindset stuff, and you guys have finished up Jessica's Ruby and Above accountability calls. I'm thinking that we'll do a book study that will start in August and lead us up to Leaders Retreat. And I feel like the book I keep landing on is the one that we did a couple years ago called The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And the way I structured that the first time, actually the second time, because Justin led one as well after I did the first one and he did the second one, is basically we did the first week, and then everyone in the group each took a turn facilitating a week. And basically it's just facilitating the questions. So it's kind of like a group time where you just discuss the answers to the questions at the end of the chapter. But I think it'd be two chapters a week, and it would lead us up to that the week before Leaders Retreat. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of book study. I talked to, maybe it was in the Ruby and Above thread. I feel like Amy Booker and I have chatted about this, but where we would maybe structure it the way we did this spring with accountability calls. The jewels, so current emeralds and above would host. We might co-host actually and have like a Monday night time and maybe like a Thursday night, or maybe one Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, something like that. But basically where people, if they can't do Monday nights, at least can pop on, and they could also get perspective from other leaders. But we would basically be going through the material all at the same time as a whole team. There would just be a couple different facilitators on different nights. So that's the thoughts I have so far in light of that. And also I want to free up you senior rubies because you'll be working on emerald stuff. So actually you'll probably be emerald by then, but anyways, that's what I was thinking in light of that.
Okay.
All right. Good things. Anyone else have anything to pipe up really quick or thoughts? I feel like the month of July is recruitment month. I didn't want to start a book during that time. I feel like it's just recruit the month of July. Help people that have started this year so far, get them engaged, get them on products, get them in the 21-day challenge. That's what I'm feeling like for the month of July. Okay. Did someone pipe up?
I was just gonna say, for me it's duplicate. Because anyway, July.
All right.
Okay.
Good things.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
There we go.
Anything else? Any other epiphanies put in the Jewel Marco thread? All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.